How did that feel to have somebody kind of showing you how to step into this hyper female role? And it was a role. Did you embrace it because it was within the wrestling world? Or was there any part of you that was like, why do I have to do that?
I was the new girl. So I was happy that somebody wanted to talk to me and kind of help me. Nobody likes to be the new kid.
Yeah.
It was interesting because I was like, I feel like she's doing something really sweet and trying to help me. But now, how can I make this fit me? Because I always had older friends. So I always looked at it as like a cheat sheet. And it's like, here's the things that
Right.
they've done or they do. And how can I pick and choose
Right.
from there? Either A, I don't make the same
Right.
mistakes, or B, that I get to use it to fit me.
I'm so glad Julie asked, how does it feel? The feeling of being in an arena in front of dozens of thousands of screaming people doing something that looks
Hard.
well,
So
it looks
hard.
very difficult, but it also looks like very energizing. Looks very free. What does it feel like?
Oh my God. Like when I went to wrestling events as a kid, there's no word to describe what that's like. I remember as a kid, I used to think like, man, if I just scream really hard, like Jeff Hardy will get up and then he's going to beat the Undertaker and it's going to be the best thing ever. So I remember, oh my God, my brother hated when I did this, but Jeff Hardy had his entrance where he would do his little Jeff Hardy dance and he would do this thing. And we were by a guardrail and I stood. I don't know what made me do this, but I thought I couldn't fall. So I just stood on the guardrail and I'm doing the Jeff Hardy dance. And he's like, oh my God, I hope no one gets this on camera because that'd be the most embarrassing thing. And all my friends are going to get so mad at me and whatever. It's electrifying as a kid and as a fan. It's one thing when you hear The Rock say the most electrifying fans in sports and entertainment, but I didn't realize until I was actually in the ring what he meant by that. And that's probably the best way to describe our fans for sure.
You feel electrified by the fans as you're doing it.
It's almost like a group charge almost. Even when you think, oh my God, I'm gassed out, I'm tired in there, you start to hear little chants or you start to hear yays or boos or whatever it is. You ever see that toy that it's like in a ball and it's kind of energy going everywhere, but when you touch it, it all goes to one spot?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's kind
Yeah.
of what it feels like.
Oh, wow. Dax Shepard, who does stand-up comedy sometimes, he said, after you do stand-up, you have this huge rush of connection with the audience and you just feel so alive. You walk off the stage and you realize, like, I'm not going to feel that feeling again until I'm back on the stage. So you try to find ways to get yourself back up on that feeling. How do you deal with, like, going from that electric charge to, like, the rest of life, which can sometimes feel good and sometimes feel bad and all the feelings in between? Like, how do you deal?
I think a big part of that for me is just finding other things. And I'm glad that I did. That also made me feel that and also made me feel happy. I just did the Crunchyroll Anime Awards and standing up there, I was almost more nervous there than I was in the ring. It was crazy, that feeling, getting to do stuff like that and plug myself into different avenues that may not be as much, but it'll give me that boost. Honestly, just coming home and seeing my husband and my cats, like that gives me like the best feeling in the world. When I go to New York and we get to perform at MSG and I get to see my grandmother and my mom, my brothers and my stepdad, like it's cool to get it from them because I don't get to see them as much. That's the other side of being on the road. You don't get to see your family as much. There's a lot of things that you miss. You get that charge finally coming back home to them.